Apple just hosted one of their most anticipated events called WWDC, or as we affectionately call it, WW. WWDC stands for Worldwide Developer Conference, and it's what Apple uses to announce all their latest software developments, as well as showcase their newest advancements in iOS, macOS, iPadOS, and more. Today, I'll show you what I think are the most important parts, and if you stick around, I might even show you a hands-on with the new iOS 15 beta. Alright, let's start with iOS. Weather, Apple Maps, and Safari all got a redesign. There's also a new Sent to You feature, so whenever people send you links to news articles or Apple Music songs, it'll all show up in your Apple Music and your news respectively. There's also a new feature within the Camera app and the Photos app that lets you copy text straight out of an image and then paste it wherever. It also has built-in translating, so it'll automatically translate Japanese to English, for instance. There's also new privacy features, including seeing exactly which addresses apps are connecting to share your data. In WatchOS 8, they revamped the Breathe app, so now instead of a flower, it's dots. There's also an improved health app that actually communicates with your doctors to give you a better idea of what test results mean, and to give them a better idea of what your day-to-day health looks like. They also made a few additions to Apple Fitness Plus, and finally, we can send pictures through iMessage on the Apple Watch. There's also a really cool new watch face that lets you use a portrait mode photo to put the subject in front of the text. It's really cool. Next up is iPadOS 15. The iPad now has all the features that it should have had in iPadOS 14. It now supports home screen widgets that can be moved around between your apps, and the same text detecting AI. There's also some improved multitasking with split screen app groups, so you can swipe between them like Windows on a desktop. There's also something called Quick Notes, which lets you just swipe up from a corner and write a quick note. The iPad now has the same spotlight search as the macOS. There's also a new feature called Universal Control. Before, we had something called Sidecar, where you could put your iPad next to your laptop and you kind of use it as a second display. But now, with Universal Control, you can just set your iPad next to your MacBook and then move your cursor over as if it's the same computer, and just drag files between them. It's even compatible with an iMac, a MacBook, and an iPad all at once. This will probably revolutionize the way people interact with their laptop and their iPad at the same time. So that brings us to macOS Monterey. Okay, so basically, it's like Big Sur, but purple. There's also a few more features, like now we have Siri shortcuts built into macOS, which is pretty much just a revamped automator. And you can also make app groups to open multiple apps at once. Alright, now let's talk about Safari. I put Safari in its own category because it kind of spans across all the devices in a way it really didn't before. The search bar was moved over to the left to have the tabs alongside it, and when you open a tab, the tab itself becomes the search bar. The whole tab bar actually takes on the background color of whatever page you're on to make it look nice. You can now create pretty much folders for all your tabs to keep them organized, but the coolest thing about that is that they actually offload to iCloud, and then all of your Apple devices have access to the same tab groups, so you don't need to go find the same website again or send a link. You can also copy a whole tab group and send it to someone, and then they will have all the same tabs that you do. For Safari on iPadOS and iOS, the search bar was moved down to the bottom to be a little easier to reach, and you can swipe with it to quickly change between tabs. The biggest change for Safari on the iPad and on iPhones is extensions. So you can now add like the Honey extension or Grammarly or an ad blocker to Safari. Now let's talk about FaceTime. FaceTime has gotten a complete redesign and a lot more features. It now has built-in noise suppression to reduce background sounds. It's got spatial audio so you can hear people from different directions. It's got portrait mode to blur your background. It's got share play so you can watch movies with people through almost any streaming service except Netflix. And it also supports screen share now. Probably the biggest improvement they made to FaceTime though is that it is now cross-compatible with Android and Windows. So you just copy a link just like a Zoom call and you send it, and then it opens up the FaceTime call in their browser. They also announced this thing called iCloud Plus, which is just another paid service that pretty much just gives you a VPN and hides your email and gives you secure video. Congratulations, you made it to the end. This is the new iOS 15 beta. It doesn't look a lot different, but if I just open up With FaceTime right here, you can see that it is different. We've got all our upcoming calls. So you can see you can just schedule your calls ahead of time and make links for them. And then I can send those to anyone with Android or Windows and they'll open it in a browser. I can create a new link up top as well as make a new FaceTime call. There's also this new app called Magnifier, which really doesn't make a lot of sense. I don't know what the purpose is. I guess it's for people with impaired sight, but it pretty much just zooms in on stuff and turns on the flashlight and not a lot else. I tried to use the feature where you can take a picture of something with text and then select it right out of the image, but I think it doesn't work because I'm just using it on an iPhone 7. Wow, it is very glitchy. I can also show you the new iMessage. As you can see, we've got this little FaceTime icon right up top here, and you can just call directly from there. And probably one of the coolest features is you can hold down on a message and then translate it right within iMessage. So if you're texting with someone whose language you do not speak, it's pretty quick and easy to just translate all their messages. Let's take a look at the new Safari right here. As you can see, you can see right down here is where the search bar is now. Takes a little getting used to, but actually it's quite nice. I can just swipe up on that and see all my tabs. And then at the bottom here, I can select my tab groups. So I can just switch to this tab group and I've got all these other tabs I've saved. And you can see I can just swipe between all of them, just like that. It's pretty handy. It's really glitchy because this is just a beta, but it is a quite nice UI. The new weather app looks very nice. We've got some updated little graphs with more colors. There's a built-in radar map right here now. There's also a bunch of new graphs like wind direction and pressure and visibility. Now let's check out the new maps. Alright, so here are the new maps on big cities such as New York. If I just switch into 3D mode by dragging with 2 fingers, you can actually see we've got a full 3D map of all of Manhattan. There's also street view, so I can just bring the street view to just about anywhere. It just shows all the pictures that it has that were taken in that general area. That's pretty much all the features of iOS 15 I can show you on this old iPhone 7. I didn't want to put it on my main phone because it is so glitchy. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.